Yo, what's up guys, Engage here, and yesterday Arc Tempered Rey Dau ended up dropping, and with that came the Rey Dau Gamma set. So I wanted to show you guys this longsword build I've been making, and hopefully give you guys some direction with your builds. So for the Rey Dau Gamma set, I decided to go for the 4-piece set bonus, and those 4 pieces that I chose were the head, the chest, the waist, and then the legs. And then for my arms, because I'm not having to use Rey Dau, I ended up once again going with the Guardian Arcveld Beta arms. My talisman is the Exploiter Charm 2, and then my mantle is Corrupted Mantle, but mantle is purely personal preference. As for my weapons, I'm currently using a Blast Artian weapon, and this one is Paralysis. I kind of swap between the two depending on what I'm trying to go for. But Rey Dau is pretty strong to Paralysis, so I've decided to use Blast when fighting him. Though you could actually use Mizutsune's weapon for that water element, because Rey Dau is actually weak to water, and that is a really good weapon. So if you want to go for Elemental on AT Rey Dau, I'd say go for Mizutsune. Now for my decorations, this is the same as last video for my weapons. We got Master's Touch, and then 2 crit jewels for crit boost level 5. And then I have a Master's Touch jewel on my Paralysis weapon, plus a crit jewel for crit boost level 3, but instead of going for level 5, I've decided to actually go for crit status level 3, just to proc Paralysis more often. And on the armor, as you can see, the Rey Dau armor does not have a lot of slottage. With what little slottage I had, I ended up going for the Chain Jewel to get burst level 1, just for a little bit extra damage. I went with a Physique Jewel to further reduce my stamina loss, 3 Sheath Jewels because I can't go without Quick Sheath level 3, and then lastly a Counterattack Jewel because having Adrenaline Rush is really good on Longsword since you dodge all the time. Now looking at the specific skills that I'm rocking, you can see that this build leans very heavily into crit. We have Crit Boost 5, Weakness Exploit 5, Latent Power 5, and Maximum Might 3. I think with the 5% Affinity and then the 10% from the Corrupted Mantle, it's like 135 or something. And I'm just saying that off the top of my head. I don't know if that's the exact number, but it's over 100% for sure. And the coolest thing is that even though the slottage is pretty bad on the Rey Dau armor, the skills that it gives you is actually really good. We get Wex level 1 on the helm, which actually gives me level 5 because we get 1 from the helm, 2 from the arms, and then 2 more from the talisman. Additionally, I get Maximum Might level 1 and Stamina Surge level 1. The chest gives you Latent Power 3, and then the waist gives you Latent Power level 5, plus the final 2 levels of Maximum Might. So a big thing is that Latent Power, you really have to commit to it, because the decorations for Latent Power are level 3 slots. And luckily with this build, you don't even have to use any Latent Power jewels. It's just all in the armor. And additionally, you get level 3 of Maximum Might when you equip the head and the waist. And then lastly, the legs, one of the main reasons I equipped it was just really for the level 3 slot. But honestly, having stun res is really nice, because I kid you not, in this Rey Dau fight, I've gotten stunned more times in this one encounter than I have in the entire game. And then lastly, you get Stamina Surge level 2 from the legs, which maxes out Stamina Surge. Now, I could have gone with the arms because as you see, they give you 2 level 3 slots, which is really good. And I was debating equipping these or the head. But the reason I went with the head was because it gives me Wex and Maximum Might, which are 2 skills that I really like having on my builds. And the arms give you Evade Extender level 2, which I don't really like on Longsword. It kind of messes me up whenever I'm trying to do foresights. So looking at the overview of the skills, you can see that this leans really heavily into crit. And I'm sure you guys know all about these skills by now, but I want to talk more about Latent Power. So with Latent Power, you get that 50% affinity boost, and it reduces your stamina depletion by 50%. You tie this in with the Stamina Surge, as well as the 1 level of Constitution that I was able to slot in, and the uptime on Maximum Might is increased exponentially. I tend to foresight more than I use Yai Spirit Slash, so I'm constantly eating up stamina. So to have that reduction to the depletion of my stamina from constitution as well as latent power, as well as having it increase to max faster with stamina surge, maximum might can stay active for much longer during the hunt. With latent power, it activates for 2 minutes when you're either 2 minutes into the hunt or you take 130 damage, which in my opinion is the best way to do it, because you can take damage from corrupted mantle or barrel bombs instead of having to wait 2 minutes for it to activate. Because then by that time, for a lot of these hunts, you're going to be well into your way and probably almost done. The crappy thing about latent power is that it has a 2-minute forced cooldown, meaning after the skill runs out, you cannot activate it for 2 minutes straight. But with Rey Dau's voltage, though there's still a 2-minute cooldown, you actually end up getting 3.5 minutes of uptime, which I think outweighs the cons of the 2-minute cooldown, because then you're going to have a lot more uptime throughout the hunt. Long story short, really lean into latent power in this build. It's really easy to get because you can get it from the armor alone, and this set bonus is really good for latent power. Lastly, I want to talk about Lord Soul. So this is, I believe this is a new skill, and basically what it does is it acts sort of like Moxie. So for those of you who don't know what Moxie is, it's a bonus you can get from eating certain food during your meal. It basically puts this like little red mark on your health bar. And when your health is above that red marker, if you end up dying or like getting, taking enough damage to die, you'll actually be able to survive that hit with like 0 HP remaining. And basically the way this set bonus works, initially I believe you have a 1.05 times multiplier on your attack and a 0.095 multiplier on your defense. And then after you survive that lethal hit, again, if your health is above that red mark and you take enough damage to die, you will survive with like 0 HP remaining. But after you take that lethal hit, your defense and your resistances will be increased. Now, I don't know the specific numbers for that, but I really like this because you get a free raw damage bonus. And although your defense is lowered, that plays really well into this skill because you'll take a little bit more damage, and that makes it more likely to activate the second bonus of boosting your defense and your resistances. So this is a really good set bonus. I do need to experiment with it more, and if you guys have any more insight on it, please let me know. But yeah, that pretty much sums it up, guys. There's not really anything crazy with this build. It's a lot better than I thought it would be, that's for damn sure. And once again, this is the build. This is the decorations. You got the skills here for any of you who want to take a screenshot. But yeah, thank you guys for watching. Let me know in the comments what kind of build you're running. If you're going to decide to use the Rey Dau Gamma set, let me know if there's any improvements I can make to the build. Any suggestions, please let me know. And I made this build live on Twitch, twitch.tv/engage_end if you want to check me out there. I play Monster Hunter, I'm playing Oblivion Remastered. I'm also starting to get into fighting games, so I'd greatly appreciate if you guys check me out over there. And I'd love to chat with you guys. I love just talking to you guys, having a good time. And thank you so much for watching, and I hope your guys' builds go well. Peace.